everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be a complete guide on how to play Wukong. In this video, I'll be explaining all the basic abilities of Wukong and I'll also be giving you guys some advanced tips on how to play him. So the first thing that we will be looking at Wukong is his passive. Each time Wukong uses a skill, his next normal attack is enhanced to deal 352 physical damage. He also tumbles towards the target. His staff carries a permanent 12% crit chance. So we just got into the game, and if you check our equipments now, we don't have any equipments at all, but we will still have a critical chance of 16%. So 4% comes from the Arcana and 12% comes from Wukong's passive. So Wukong's staff basically has a critical chance of 12%. So that is his main passive, and his next passive is that every time he uses an ability, his normal attack range will get increased. So right now you can see the small circle, right? So this is our normal attack range, and only if the enemy is within this range we will be able to attack them. See, but once you use any of your abilities, you will get a bigger range. So you will be able to jump and attack the enemy if you use your abilities. So that is also another passive of Wukong. And your normal attacks deal like 162 damage, but when you use your ability, the next normal attack is enhanced to deal 352 more damage, and so like you saw there, it was 448, whereas if it's just a normal attack, it's just 166. So this is the passive of Wukong. His passive fully focuses on auto attacks, and that's about everything about his passive. Now let's move on to his first ability. Wukong gains 40% movement speed for 1 second. Once you use your first ability, he will become invisible, and then he will increase his movement speed by 40%. So you can see how long you will be invisible above your HP, above your name, as you can see above me right now. Once I use my first ability, there is another bar which slowly goes down. That indicates how long you will be invisible. So this ability also grants him the enhanced auto attack after using it. So if you use your first ability, you can jump and attack the enemy with your next auto attack. So that's about everything of his first ability. So the second ability is a dash. So you can use it to get through walls like this when you are going through the jungle. And another important thing that many people who play Wukong for so long don't know is that the second ability actually grants him magic defense and armor. See, Wukong somersaults quickly towards the target direction, gaining 120 armor and magic defense for 3 seconds. So 120 armor and magic defense is like equal to having a defense item, almost equal to having a defense item. So it greatly increases his survivability when you use it. So you can also see that increase in armor and magic defense indicated above your restore button. So when you use your second ability, as you can see there, see there is this button, increases armor and magic defense, a new icon appears. So that is his second ability, and the second ability also enhances his next auto attack to increase its range and jump onto the enemy and attack them. Now to the final ability of Wukong. Wukong unleashes his inner chi, dealing 300 physical damage to surrounding enemies and stunning them for 1 second. This skill can be used again within 5 seconds to remove any movement speed reduction effects, make Wukong invisible, and increase his movement speed by 40% for 1 second. So his ult is probably the most complicated of his abilities. When you use it, you will stun all the enemies within this range. So see, Yon got stunned, and then you can use it again. As you can see, the ult didn't instantly go into cooldown. After I used it, it is still available. And what the second ult does is that it makes you invisible and removes all the slowdown effects that are on you. So if you are attacked by Arthur and if you are slowed down, you can use your ult, and then this if you tap your ult again, you will become invisible and remove all the slowdown reduction debuffs, and then you will run 40% faster for 1 second. So his ult is basically a combination of a stun and his first ability. So his first ability grants him 40% movement speed for 1 second and invisibility, right? The same thing his ult does, but it also stuns the enemy, and the next ult will increase his movement speed and grant him invisibility. So these are the abilities of Wukong. The best thing about Wukong is that he is so easy to play, he is not even complicated at all, and that is why he is one of the best assassins, and he provides a lot of utility as well. The only downside to Wukong is that he is fully luck based. So if I am attacking this Yarn now, see, this is 168, 169, 168, 381. So only when his attacks crit, he will be able to deal damage. So there are a lot of occasions when I jump into a team fight and attack the enemy marksman, but if I get unlucky and I don't land a crit, they won't even die. So I will be the only one dead, or I should use my ult to run away. So these are the only two things that can happen. If you manage to crit the enemy, you will kill them. Otherwise they will kill you, or you have to just retreat. So he is mostly luck based, and right now our critical chance is only at 16%. So I'll now show you the build of Wukong. The build of Wukong has a lot of explaining to do than any other heroes, because there is a trick by which you can have a very good early game. So in the early game, you don't have a lot of equipments to increase your critical chance, right? So I have a critical chance of 16% right now, which means that out of 100 of my auto attacks, only 16 will crit. In order to increase this critical chance even in the early game, there is a trick which you can do, and I can assure you that if you follow this, you will have a lot more success with Wukong from the early game, because he is considered a late game hero right now. So the first thing that you need to buy is this Predator's Knife. That is the tier 2 item of Soul Reaver. First buy this, and then buy Hermes Select. I'll explain why Hermes Select is so important later in the video. So next go for Hermes Select, and the third equipment that you need to buy is this critical this gloves. So if you read here, these gloves give you 12% critical chance. So buy one, it's just 420 rupees, and then pre-order another. So when it appears again, buy that also, and when you have that, order 2 more. Like when you get 420 gold, just buy 4 gloves. These gloves, unlike tier 4 equipments, can actually stack your critical chance. So as you can see, 12%, 12%, 12% and 12%. So now we have a critical chance of 71%, and this can be achieved in like level 7 itself, because you will be able to get 3000 to 4000 gold at that time. So you will have 71% crit even in the early game. So that will help you deal a lot more critical chance. See, 1500, 600, whenever it crits, you will be able to crit a lot more even in the early game. After you buy these 6 items, then you can complete the jungle item by building Soul Reaver. So this is the sequence. I'll show it to you once again. Always buy the jungle item, this knife first, and then pre-order this second tier item. And when the second tier item has come, buy it, and then go to the movement section and buy Hermes Select. So Hermes Select should be your next item, and the third item, 4th, 5th and 6th item should be gloves. First buy 4 gloves to bring your critical chance to 71%, and then go for the third tier jungle item, Soul Reaver, and then complete this critical chance with tier 3 items, that is Clave Sanctity and then Slick Sting. So see, all those 4 gloves got converted into 2 tier 3 items. So those gloves are never useless. If you buy them, you are not wasting any extra gold, because they will automatically be converted into tier 3 items when you buy Clave Sanctity and Slick Sting. So now that we have a critical chance of 74%, which is more than enough, and unless you are super lucky and you don't get any critical, so the next 2 items should be Rank Breaker and Fenrir's Tooth. These two increase your damage by so much. So Rank Breaker is adding 110 normal attack, and also the main thing about Rank Breaker is that it increases your movement speed after exiting battle by 10%. So if you have Rank Breaker, you will move very fast after you exit your team fight. See, this is pretty good movement speed for an assassin, and that really comes in handy when you are going to engage. I will explain how to use it after some time. So the final equipment that you should have is Fenrir's Tooth. So Fenrir's Tooth increases your normal attack by 200. So Fenrir's Tooth is the most expensive item in the whole game, but it is worth buying because it gives you 200 attack damage. And the unique passive of Fenrir's Tooth is that it increases your damage dealt by 30% when the target's HP is below 50%. So when the target is below half of their HP, you will deal 30% more damage to them if you have this item. So now that we have all this, let's see how much crit we do. See, it's 3900, 3700, 4600. So the 4600 was because of the effect of Fenrir's Tooth. When the Sage Buff's life dropped below 50%, I was able to do 30% more damage, and that's why my damage is at 4700. So this is the standard equipment for Wukong. The only thing you can change is the rank breaker. I would recommend you changing rank breaker if there are a lot of warriors in the enemy team. So if the enemy team is more tanky, sell rank breaker and get more masa. It will help you deal more damage to tanky heroes. But if there are just marksman mages and your team can take care of the warriors, you can just go for rank breaker and one shot the enemy marksman mage or anyone. So see, okay, Yarn is not invincible. See, like if you manage to crit, you deal like 2500 damage to Yarn right now. And if you don't crit, you are not going to be able to kill him in 3 shots. Like if you get lucky and if you get 3 crits, that is a dead Yarn right there. But if you don't get lucky, you will not be able to kill him. So this is the only downside of Wukong. So if you are not getting any crits at all, and if you are really frustrated, just sell rank breaker and go for another critical chance item like Devil's Handshake. So if you have it, you will have a critical chance of 97%. So there is in no way you will be able to not crit the enemy. But see, since we sold rank breaker, we are not able to 3-shot Yarn. We still need one more auto attack to kill him now, because rank breaker gives you attack damage and this Devil's Handshake doesn't. So if you are really getting frustrated about not getting any crits at all, just go for rank breaker. It will really come in this. Just go for Devil's Handshake. It will really come in handy when you need those crits. Okay, so now let me explain to you guys why Wukong is powerful and how you should play him. So as you can see, Yarn is standing right there, right? So as an assassin, you have to be very sneaky. You have to hide and go and one shot the enemy and then run away. So for that, this equipment is really helpful for you. That is Hermes Select. Hermes Select, after you exit the battle, increases your movement speed by I'm not sure how much. Yeah, it increases your movement speed by 60 after you exit battle. So under my feet you can see these golden lines, right? So these golden lines indicate that Hermes Select is active. But if I attack something, see, the golden line is gone and now I am walking slower. So that means I am into fight again and Hermes Select will get deactivated. But once I am not attacking anything, it will automatically get activated and increase my movement speed. The same happens with rank breaker also. Increases movement speed by 10% after exiting battle. So if you have these two items, your movement speed will be increased by a lot whenever you are not fighting. And this item increases your movement speed by 7%. Slick Sting increases 7% movement speed. And so the total movement speed that I have now is 615. So what you can do is, you can use it in combination with your first ability. And since Yarn is so far away from this brush, I need to make sure to go close to him before going out of invisibility. So my first ability gives me 1 second of invisibility, so I have to use it to go close to him as soon as possible. If he realizes that I am going to attack him, he will use his second ability and push me, or his team might come and save him. So in order to be sneaky, just run as fast as you can, and when you enter the brush, when you are about to leave the brush, use your first ability. So Yarn wouldn't be able to see you coming from the brush. In his perspective, everything is just normal, but Wukong comes out of nowhere and then suddenly attacks and kills him. So this is how you should do it. Just run towards Yarn. When you are about to leave the brush, use your first ability to hide and then go and jump on him. This way it will make sure that you take him by surprise and you will be able to kill him, and his team will have a lot less chance to save him. Another thing you can do, if Yarn is standing very far away, wait, I'll move him a bit further. Oh, he's not cooperating. Okay, let's keep him there and let's come from this side. So if he is standing that far away, you can use your second ability in combo with your first ability. So activate your passive, run, use your first ability and jump, and then attack the enemy. So still you will be able to finish them because he has really good cooldown and you should have no trouble in using 3 attacks on him. So I'll do it again. Activate your passive, then turn invisible and then jump. See, it should not be that hard, and then you can use your ult again to run away before his team jumps on you. So Wukong has a perfect skill set. You can go in, kill one person, and when the enemy team tries to jump on you, just use your second form of your ult and then hide and just run away. So this is how you should normally play with Wukong. And now there are some other tricks that you can do with Wukong. He is a very sneaky hero, so I'll show them also. So if enemies are chasing you, like if I'm running from the abyssal lane and they are just following me closely, I can just go into brushes like these, and then when they come close I can just go invisible and go past them, and they won't even know that I just went through them and behind them. So they'll just be searching for me in the middle lane where I just went. They'll be searching for me there, but actually I will be recalling here. So this is what you can do with Wukong. Another thing you can do with Wukong is that if you are standing in this brush, and if the enemy tank and marksman are coming to the middle lane, if their tank is coming first, and if they are going into this brush, just use your hide. For 1 second you will be hidden, so their tank will come into the brush and he will not know that you are inside, and then he'll just go towards the middle lane, and then when his marksman comes from behind, you can just attack him and kill him. His tank won't even realize that he just passed through a brush in which Wukong was sitting. So his first ability makes him invisible and it doesn't warn the enemy at all. It doesn't say that Wukong is nearby like some other heroes in the game. So that comes a lot in handy when you are playing Wukong. So these are the basic tricks that you can do. One more thing that I would recommend you to do as Wukong is that he's not very powerful if you are in a 5-man team. There are better assassins that you can pick if you have a really good team, like Kira, Butterfly are really good when you have a good team. So Wukong is like a solo carry hero, and for that reason you have to do toxic farming. So what toxic farming is that you should take the gold of all the players in your team and you should try to carry the match. So this is quite risky because you will be the only one with gold if you are playing Wukong. Clear all the jungle, go to different lanes, clear all the creeps in those lanes. Your teammates will be shouting at you for taking their gold, but if you are sure that you will be able to carry, you can do that, but it's very risky, and if you die, it's going to be useless. So don't try to fight with Wukong until you get to like level 10 plus, and when you have this slick sting. So avoid fighting until you get these first 4 items. Even if your team just keeps shouting at you for not coming to help, just tell them that you won't come until you get slick sting, and even if they die after that, it's up to them. So unless you have these 4 items, you won't be able to deal enough damage at all, and you are like basically like a marksman in the early game. So only if you get built enough, you will be able to do something. So just clear the middle lane, top lane, bottom lane, clear the jungle, take as much gold as you can, and try to get to level 10 as soon as possible, and try to buy these items, and only then Wukong will be powerful. So if you just go and try Wukong in a match, and then if you try to attack an enemy, they'll just kill you and you will be like, Wukong is not a very good hero. But only if you know that only after having these equipments you will be powerful, you will be able to do a lot of things with Wukong. So in my top 10 assassins video, I ranked Wukong as number 2, and that was because Wukong really excels at solo carrying. He can go for objectives, he can be sneaky, he is fast, and he is a counter to all the other assassins. So if there is an Akroth in the enemy team, if you have Wukong and if you are able to farm as much gold as him, if he tries to attack you 1v1, you can just one-shot him and go away. So Wukong can easily counter any other assassin 1v1 because of his high burst damage and his ability to hide from them. So these are the things I have to say for Wukong. Now let me go on to the Arcana part, which is also very important when it comes to Wukong. So the Arcana that I use for Wukong is, you can also use that, go into Armory and Arcana, tap Arcana, and then there will be this Arcana pool recommended and then Arcana backpack. Go into Arcana pool and then click on this Arcana page 1. If you click that, you will see this screen, and in this screen go into suggested. So if you go here into suggested, it will show you all the different types of Arcana that you can use: physical damage, magic damage, critical chance, and critical damage. So for Wukong, we only need to talk about critical chance and critical damage. So these two, if you click this I button, if you long press it, it will show you what these Arcana do. If you go for critical, if you use this critical chance Arcana, you will get a normal attack damage increase of 16, which is not that significant, but the thing you can get is critical chance. See, you get 16% of critical chance. So as soon as you enter the match, you will have 16% critical chance. If you add that with Wukong's passive, it also gives you like 12%, right? So in total, you will have 28% critical chance as soon as you enter the game if you have this Arcana. But I won't recommend using critical chance because it is better if you have critical damage. So having this Arcana, this critical damage Arcana, if you click the I symbol, it says again 16 normal attack, which is not that significant, but critical chance of 4% and critical damage of 23%. So I have made a separate video explaining everything clearly about critical chance and what is critical chance, about critical damage and what is critical damage. So if you don't know about that, do check out that video before playing Wukong. It will be so helpful for you. So I would recommend using this Arcana, and that is Rampage, Assassin and Dragoon. So if it's Arena of Valor, it will be Rampage, Assassinate and Skeever. So here the name is Dragoon. So this is the Arcana that I use for Wukong, and make sure to check out the critical chance video before trying out Wukong. And the enchantment that I use, if you go into enchantment, and Wukong is already selected, so the enchantment that I use for Wukong is Wukong, and I have also made a video covering about this Wukong enchantments, but it's not yet complete, it's a series. So I'll explain what this enchantment does alone. So what this Malak head does is that it will it will reduce your cooldown when you use your ultimate. So it comes in handy. You will be able to use your first and second ability a lot faster. But the core enchantment is this one, this small axe of sacrifice. No, not this one. This Sanctum of Light. So this one increases your critical chance before you go into battle, which is very handy for Wukong. So the more critical chance that he has, the more damage he will be able to do. And that's the enchantment, best enchantment for Wukong according to me. So that's gonna be everything about Wukong, I guess. And so it will be the end of today's video. I have put in a lot of effort, and I've added a lot of tips other than my usual tutorials, because I really like playing Wukong because he is a solo carry hero, and I have a lot of matches with him. So that is why I am able to give more tips for Wukong than some other heroes that I have made. So the more I play a hero, the more I'll understand about them, right? So since I have a lot of matches with Wukong, I am able to provide you with a lot more tips. So try to understand everything, and he's not that complicated really. And if you manage to get the understanding of how Wukong works, and when you will be powerful, when you should be passive, when you should be aggressive, when to engage and everything, you will be able to carry matches solo. I can guarantee you that, against other solo players. It's very hard to carry against a very good 5-man team, but if you're going solo versus solo, Wukong is the best option. So I wish you all good luck playing Wukong, and that's gonna be the end of today's video. I hope you all found this video helpful, and if you did, make sure to support me by hitting the like and subscribe button. I heard that if you have more likes in a video, the video gets promoted to a wider audience. So do leave a like below the video if you like it. And I hope you all have a really great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.